Hi there. Welcome back to another quick and easy, and this is going to be very loose watercolor painting. I'm going to wet the top 2/3 of the page here. It's quite a bit of water because I really want the thing to think about in watercolor painting is that the way the paint moves, is by having enough water to carry the pigment. Okay, so I'm just going to put a couple of streaks of blue across here. You can just use whatever blue it is that you have. And I'm not going to clean this brush out. I'm going to put it into my Payne's gray. And I'm just going to put a couple of streaks of Payne's gray across there and just let that run to wherever it is it's going to go to. Don't worry about directing it too much. And I'm going to pick up a whole bunch of green here. And I'm going to put some green across here. And I'm trying to make like a very summer, maybe late spring, early summer sort of a scene. So I'm going to put a lot of green in there, a lot more. And I'm actually going to take this brush and I'm going to put it into my sap green. And I'm going to intensify the color a little bit here. Same here. And you can see where that green is starting to creep up there a little bit. I'm just going to take my tissue, just dry that line across there, just to try to keep it from going up too far into the page. Okay, so that's turning out not too bad. I'm going to pick up a little bit more green here. And I'm just tapping the brush. If you watch what I'm doing, I'm not stroking. There's no brush strokes here. I'm just tapping the paint off the brush and into the wet and allowing the water to carry the paint up. I'm going to make a big tree line here. Okay, and the same here. Put a little bit more pigment into this. Now you can take this brush. I'm going to rinse it out and I'm going to dry it off a little bit, and I'm going to pick up some of this sienna. And I'm going to put some sienna in here in a couple of places like that, and maybe pick up some sienna straight off the palette to intensify the color a little bit. And again, we're just going to let that do whatever it is that that's going to do. I'm going to make a couple of long streaks here, sort of a field that might be like early spring kind of field. I'm going to put quite a bit of Payne's gray into that. And I'm just going to touch this line across here. And I'm going to touch this line across here and see if we can get some of that all mixing together. I'm going to rinse this brush out again. And I want to give some variation to my green that I have there. So I'm going to pick up blue. I'm going to put some blue into this in a couple of spots. And that'll give us some color variation and make it a little bit of a darker green. And we're just going to let that all do its thing. Okay? Right now, I'm going to rinse this brush out again. I'm going to pick up some yellow ochre. A little bit more yellow ochre. I'm just going to touch that in a few spots. And we're going to let this just all bleed together. Before we let this dry, I'm going to take my, this is a #1 watercolor, and I've just sharpened one end of it, and I'm just going to draw into this a little bit and make the indication of a few trees. I'm going to do the same here. And indicate where a few trees may be. All right, that's kind of turned out pretty cool there already. Okay, let's let this dry and see what we get. All right, so we got some really cool color mixing going on here. And that's one of the great things about watercolor painting, especially in a loose style, is you get all these color combinations going on there, and really all you did was touch the page. And I'm going to lay in some yellow ochre now. This sort of started to look like a road, so I'm just going to go with that. Just see if we can't turn this into maybe a road or maybe a field, or got some Payne's gray here. I'm just going to touch along the side there. And I'm going to take this brush and I'm just going to set it down. And I'm going to grab a little bag of salt here. Just going to sprinkle some salt across that. Just like that. All right, and then we're just going to let this dry. All right, so I really like the color mixing that's happened around here. You know, in this sort of loose style is very, very fun to try. I hope you give it a shot. Move our mat around there a little bit. I kind of like it like that, but let me know what you think in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know where you're from. If you could drop me a comment and let me know where you're from, where you're watching me from, I appreciate it. If you're currently a subscriber, thanks a lot. And if you're not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks a lot. We'll see you again next time.